The time has come for a new type of school. The Industrial Revolution education system expired a long time ago. Actually, I joke and say that it expired on September 4th, 1998, when Google came. But really, I'm serious. It expired on September 4th, 1998, but it's toxic in 2025. If you have a school where people are, I'm willing to agree that from kindergarten to 5th grade, we should have some sort of system that focuses on just building the grammar stage, like classical schools talk about, the grammar stage. No homework, though, in my model. No homework. There is no reason to have mandatory homework. Students should work with their parents for fun, read more books at home. That's fine. They should do chores, play with their friends outside. Okay, that's fine. But from 6th grade and up, a new paradigm is necessary, like right now. Now, I understand that there's some schools that have very good things going for them, but they have to almost put themselves into the box of the K-12 system. I want to introduce you to a new model in education. And this model is driven by curiosity, self-driven learning, discipline, time management within reason. I believe this is the future of education. And what do I mean? See, what happened is, back in the 1800s, it was necessary at a certain point in history to have that kind of model of education. You were trying to educate a lot of people, trying to get people to read, trying to get people to understand ABCD and so on and so forth. But the best way to do it, it seemed, I personally don't think it was the best way to go about it, but the best way it seemed was to try and put people in grade-based systems. And then you have to also add into that there were certain societies where farming was still important, like the mainstay. I mean, farming is important, of course. The mainstay was farming. So in the summers, you couldn't have school. You shouldn't, right? Children need to go to the farms and so on and so forth. If we don't pay attention to the world that we live in, if we don't pay attention to the fact that the times have changed, we will be doing a disservice to our students. So let's talk about it. In 2025 August, you have computers, you have Google, you have YouTube, you have artificial intelligence, you have books and libraries and resources and mentors and Zoom and... Do you see where I'm going with this? How can we teach like it's 1912? The whole education system needs to change. The whole thing. Where do we begin? Well, here's the thing. There's an aspect of education that can happen for sure that we know works. And that is mentoring needs to be involved in education. So what that means is that teachers need to change from just giving information to becoming mentors. So, in this paradigm of education that I'm describing, teachers are mentors. They themselves are lifelong learners. The teachers in these schools that I'm describing, that we're hoping to start by God's grace, the teachers in these communities of micro schools and these learning environments themselves need to be writing papers. They themselves need to be reading books. They themselves, if you saw them out in the public at 4 o'clock in the afternoon while they're waiting in line, they're not on their smartphones just on social media. They're reading a book or having a conversation about what matters. These teachers in this era that I'm describing are themselves seeking to better understand the world God has made. They're almost like PhD professors, but they're teaching K-12 students. They're driven by curiosity. They're like Michael Faraday, working on Christmas Day of 1831, trying to understand electricity and magnetism. That's the kind of teacher that we need for this era of education. I want to create what would look like a blend of classical education, Charlotte Mason, project-based learning, mastery-based learning. You can take elements of that Montessori exploration approach within a framework of classical and the grammar, as I described, singing and grammar stage. After 6th grade, or when they get to 6th grade, oh boy. Number one, they read the classics. They need to read a lot. In my world of what this looks like, the only social media people have, they get it in 10th grade, and it's LinkedIn for trying to begin to talk to employers about doing apprenticeships. When students graduate in this 7-year journey from 6th grade to 12th grade, in my world of like a 12 to 18-year-old range there, when they graduate at 18, they have their college education already done. Because the chemistry you take in high school, why don't we just turn up the temperature and get you to take the college chemistry and the college physics and the college algebra and the calculus 1 and 2 and 3? Like, why not? See, what AI is like a calculator that has shown up in an era where people were learning arithmetic by hand, and now you gave them a calculator. So the problems you give them after you've given them a calculator need to be much more difficult. Okay, so what does this mean for education? What this means for education is that we're going to need a new paradigm. We're going to need a new level of difficulty. That level of difficulty is that I want my students in this 6th to 12th grade model. I'm not the principal of the school, right? I'm going to equip principals and schools to take this on and use it. And I can give them a blueprint and a handbook to use. But what I want to do in this model is I basically want to provide every child from 6th to 12th grade all the college credits they need, and apprenticeships and job shadowing and life skills, because they're learning all the time. They are in a place where lifelong learning is the norm. They love learning. It's June 25th and they're doing research on electricity and magnetism for fun because their village needs electricity. I look forward to this new model of education where children are not just learning theory, they're building solutions. This model can be used anywhere, but in Africa especially, I would love to see this take off. Why? Because there are communities in Nigeria that still don't have electricity. What if the students in that community figured the problem and solved the problem? Find a way, build a system, innovate, create, solve problems, be entrepreneurial, scale it up, pay for your university at the age of 17 with your own cash because you built websites and you built apps and you built AI infrastructure yourself. That's the era we're in. We have to pay attention to what time is it. The time is no longer the time of waiting till SS3 or high school senior year. It's no longer that time. The times have changed. The education must change. And we need to show what it looks like in real time. And that's what we're going to do. We want to revolutionize education in the AI age. We want students to realize that the information is there. That's no longer the problem. The problem or the item now is, what are you going to do with that information? I was just thinking about this the other day. I'm not mad at anyone, by the way. I just get excited about the reality of the times we're living in. I was thinking about this the other day. Like, you can graduate and have a perfect score on all the exams, but you don't have water in your community. You don't have electricity. You don't have solutions. And this could be, I could use the same example in Texas where there's a lack of a certain problem. What are you doing and what am I doing to solve the problems in my community? Your education and my education should be bound by the reality that there are problems to be solved, and I need to do what I can to solve those problems, to help people flourish. There was a time where you had to wait till a certain age to gain a certain amount of knowledge, to then figure out if you can go to the next stage, to get a certificate, to then get a job, to then deliver solutions. Now is not that time. If you have a 6th grader that has a passion for electricity solutions, then let's get them in the Michael Faraday. Well, I call it Faraday Maxwell Institute of Technology. That's my name for my electrical division. Let's get them into the Faraday Maxwell Institute of Technology division and start training them in different aspects of solar panels and this and this and that. And you know what? Eventually, when we get sponsorships, let's go out to the Cavendish Laboratory and look at the physics experiments going on. Let's see people's minds thinking. Let's take them to the best nuclear facilities in Tokyo, in Japan, and show them what Japan is doing. Let's take them to Texas and show them what the rocket industry is doing. What are your passions? What do you want to learn? Keep that as a track. We're going to give you fuel for the things that you want to flourish in. That's number one. Well, actually, that's number two. Number one, remember, is the classics. They have to read a lot. They have to read a lot. Parents, you can't allow your children to have smartphones in the AI age and think everything is okay. They're going to forget who you are literally, because they're going to be so absorbed by social media, chatbots, and excessive entertainment, because they can create more entertainment with AI for hours on end. So you need to have limits. When you put limits, have a computer in your house that they can log into and check their email and, maybe a couple short things, but we have to change what entertainment looks like in the AI age. Entertainment needs to be more time where they're spending time with their friends, playing tennis, playing soccer, running around, jumping. That's what they need to do more of. Working their jobs, solving the problems in their communities. Of course, fellowshipping. The whole life needs to change. So this could be called a form of a life STEM academy, life academy, whatever we want to call it with life. But this is about life. There was a time where you went to school and then you went home and then you did homework and then you did things on the internet and then you did social media and then you slept and you woke up and you repeated the cycle. But what is the point of the education you're getting? What's the point? If you look at some of the richest people in the world today, I'm not calling you to drop out, by the way. I joke and say if you're going to drop out, you need to get into MIT first, then you drop out. But I'm kidding. Don't do that. My point, though, is most of the richest people in the world today are actually dropouts. They can't give you a certificate. The most powerful man, well, one of the most powerful men in the world today running this whole AI thing is a dropout. And the president of his company is a dropout. And one of them who just got acquired by another company is a dropout. And the guy who acquired him is a dropout. So we have a lot of dropouts trying to run the show, right? The point is but they're competent in the thing they're trying to do. I might not agree with them with some of their conclusions of the things they want to do, but they are competent. Competence is the era. That's the name. You can be 16 years old and be competent in computer programming. So why are you going to study computer science? There needs to be more. There needs to be more. Yes, networking is great, but there needs to be more. So where do we go from here? I want to invite you into this school that I'm starting, or this school network I'm starting. Would you like to start a school? Would you like to be an education entrepreneur where there's like 12 students in your school, 24 students in your school, and let's put this all across. Let's get thousands of this and help every child reach their potential. I'll give you the blueprint. You can take it, you can run with it. The time has come for education transformation, for a new paradigm. The time has come. Thanks for watching. Look forward to sharing more with you on this channel. I'll be sharing more about this school, but I'm beginning to recruit people who are going to work in the administrative side of the head office of this, but then also the teachers and the education entrepreneurs. Would you like us to start a school that raises the future Nobel laureates, that raises the future thinkers that will transform society? Then reach out to amosthemathguy.com or email me at amosthemathguy@gmail.com. amosthemathguy@gmail.com. It'll be in the description section as well. Look forward to seeing you in this new era of education. Take care and God bless.